Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to our regular Saturday call. Welcome to the Lead Laugh Love podcast. My name is Sinead Pollock, and I'm thrilled to have an iconic leader with us today, someone who is passionate about our industry and lifting up others. Quinton Van Zyl is a Gold Presidential Director from Kimberley, South Africa. Quinton's building this business with his amazing wife, Alette Marie. Together, they're remarkable leaders with an unwavering passion for helping others, and they inspire excellence, and they've really created a lasting impact. Quinton and Alette Marie are true friends to Australasia, and we were very honoured when last year they travelled all the way down under to spend the most incredible weekend with us, and we got to spend some up close and personal time with them. And I can tell you, we are in for an amazing call this morning because we learned so much on that weekend, and we continue to learn from Quinton and Alette Marie. So, Quinton, welcome. We're super excited to have you this morning. Without your partner in crime, and for the purpose of the tape, for the better half, without the better half. So welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, Sinead. Good morning, everybody. It's such a big privilege to share with you, all of you on this call this morning. Yes, when we went last year, when we went to Australia, that was actually the first time when we went to Australia. It was so amazing. I can remember, if I think about that trip, one thing stands out is all the amazing people that we met there, all you wonderful leaders on that very first Elevate weekend that we had, and it was really an elevating weekend. And yeah, all of you people are so privileged to have people like Sinead and Andrew and the whole office supporting you and helping you each and every day. And you must just remember, they want the best for you. So if you're going to stick up your hand, they will definitely help you in whatever way possible they can help you with. So stick with them, and yeah, they'll take you places.
Whether you want to go or not, we'll take you places. Love it. Now, Quinton, when we do these calls, and we started these last year, and it really is to get a leadership conversation going and really from a business mindset. The first question we always start with is we start with the why. So let's talk about how you guys started, why Manatech, and what's your story?
Yeah, that's all. That's quite an interesting a journey, Sinead. We're almost 12 years. We're going into our 13th year into Manatech this year, and we didn't start 12, almost 13 years ago to have a passive income or to travel the world or to change people's lives. What we actually started 12, 13 years ago, we just wanted we saw opportunity where we can help our daughter, and she's turning 18 in exactly a month's time. At that stage, she was around about 5 years old, and she had severe challenges with her health. And we were at for years and years for since she started having her health challenges, we were at almost feels like hundreds of different health practitioners, and nobody can actually. There weren't a significant change in her health until one day when Alette Marie was in the hair salon. She heard a guy speaking to somebody else about some natural products, and she asked him about it. And when she heard it was Manatech, she just immediately said, "No, we're not interested," because before Manatech, we were in a couple of network marketing companies, and although looking back now, we were so grateful for it because that's where the baseline was laid. That's where we actually learned. We didn't know it yet, but that's where we learned that books are important. That the people that you associate with is important. The things that you listen to is so important. But we were so caught up in this challenge that we had with Jessica, our daughter, that nothing really went in and nothing really happened. And I think we were in that first network marketing company, so grateful for it. But for the first 5 years, we only made something like, it was ridiculous, something like $1,000 for the whole 5 years.
Wow.
And there I got a thing about network marketing, that network marketing is nothing else that you only work, and you don't get paid. So network is just work. You don't get paid. That's a thing that I was, that was stuck in my mind. So friend of ours immediately before when we had these challenges with Jessica, they mentioned Manatech to us, and we didn't want to do anything with it because we only thought that they wanted to make money out of our discomfort, our misfortune with our child. Little did we know that it will change our whole life. So when this guy that I literally met in the hair salon, totally stranger, didn't know nothing about us, didn't know nothing about Jessica's story. When he came to our house one day and Jessica she didn't have any energy, she couldn't walk, she couldn't talk. He just made an energy drink, one of Manatech's energy drinks, and some Nutriveris. And about 15 minutes after she took this glass of drink, she ran around the house for about 2 hours, chasing a little brother around that she never ever did. Now, I wasn't there to see it, but when Aletmarie saw it, she said immediately to this gentleman, whatever you put in that glass, I want 2 of everything, because she saw opportunity that we don't have to carry her anywhere. Because at 5 years old, we had to carry her everywhere. And obviously, it wasn't good on our health. Aletmarie's back was giving in. So just by her having energy and running around, that changed our whole life. Little did we know that there's way, way, way more. I got home that evening. I saw these things on the table. I said to Aletmarie, what's going on here? I saw Jessica had lots more energy. But I asked Aletmarie what's going on here. And she said, no, she bought this stuff. And I said to her, you did what? Because at that stage, we were hundreds and thousands of rands in debt at the medical aids. I just started a new business and I was trying to make ends meet. We were really on a tight budget every single month. And I said to her, you did what? You bought supplements. Why? And we had a huge fight that evening. And I said to her, and the worst of all is you bought it from Manatech. You know it's a network marketing company. Because I didn't want to have to do anything with any network company ever again in my life. Because like I told you, I had this thing in my mind that network is only work and you don't get paid. It's only the people on top that get all the money. So, but my wife persisted and she did research, and then she realized we need Ambatose and we need Manapol, to help Jessica, and she ordered that without my consent. But I saw the change in my daughter's life, and a point came where I couldn't turn around anymore. I had to face it. I had to agree. I had to say, yes, this stuff works. Then Aletmarie started building the business. I said to her, well, you can build a business, but I'll help you with the kids, but I don't want anything to do with this business. Then she earned her first couple of rand, and a couple of months later, she earned a bit more, and it went more, and it went more. And about 10 months in, more or less, she earned about, in rand value, you can convert it into your currency, but she earned about 5,000 rand passively for that month. And 5,000 rand is a lot of money if you don't have it, but it's not a lot of money, really, if you want to run a household or you want to buy Ambatose or you want to live on it. But then she threw a big curveball at me. I said to her, listen, what do you want to do with 5,000 rand? What do you want to buy? What do you want to take over? Yes, it's going to make a difference, a small difference, but we need like 100 times more than that. She said to me, 5,000 rand passively is equivalent of R1 million in the bank. That's an interest you're going to get. Or if you want to change it over to, if you got a property in South Africa that's paid off, and you rent it out, that's about what you're going to get. 5,000 rand passively a month. So that got me thinking. That got me, because that's actually not the first time, but that's actually when it sinked in, when I heard passive money. Money, that's made while you're sleeping, levering off other people's efforts. That's all stuff that I heard from her then, because she was busy developing herself, and I wasn't developing myself. And that's the stuff that she listened to, and that's the stuff that she read. And that really got me interested again. And that's when I looked at this business. And I think just before we went presidential, I said to Letmeri, okay, now this is our business, not only yours anymore.
I love it. I love it. And I think, Quentin, there's so many people who are out there and they start off skeptical, or is it too good to be true? And I think, you're very blessed. You're an incredible team, obviously, with uplines like JP and Leonie. And you talk about, it's all work, not network. And I think of JP always says you have to work at this business because it's network marketing, not net do nothing marketing.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, and I know so many people watching today have started their journey because they found something they needed or they wanted within the products, and it does open their eyes to what comes next. When you look at that journey now, and because I've heard you say this, you've had the thought, well, what if we did this sooner, or what if I got involved sooner? The difference you can make, right? But you carry on regardless, and now you're called presidentials, which is incredible. And to hear that Jessica's turning 18 in a month's time, wow. God, we're all getting old.
Yeah.
But we're really good skin. We're really good skin. When you look at it, because you're now, if Jessica was 5 and she's turning 18, it's 13 years in. 13 years in, it becomes your everyday. How do you keep going? What's your motivation day to day, and what helps you stay focused? Because there's always the excitement in the beginning, but how do you keep that going?
Sinead, it's easier now because we're 13 years in this business. But in the beginning, normally when most of the people fall out is in the beginning when they just started, because in the beginning it starts small. The money is small, the team is small, everything is small. For years, it was only me and Letmeri, taking one person to an event, seeing one person at a time. Then they tell us they're not interested, and I don't blame them, because I was skeptical myself for many years. But I think the thing keep you going every single day. If you can see behind me here, and this is a big passion for me, is your dreams.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be airy-fairy about it. And, dreams is something that you only do at night, but your dreams is your passion. Your dreams is why you do it. The dreams is where you want to go, what you want out of life. You can't just go through life, just taking it day by day. I know sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes all of us go through bad things in life. Life happens. And then you have to take it day by day. But you have to create a community. You have to know where you're going. You have to see it. Visualization is a big thing for me. Before we went presidential, Letmeri actually wrote on all of our mirrors in our house, in our previous house that we had, that Quentin and Letmeri are going presidential, and she put a date to it. That's important. You have to put a date to it. So if you don't see it each and every day, if you don't believe it, if it's not part of your being, you're not going to get through it. You have to know why you go out there. You have to know, and this becomes part of you. So in the morning, I don't know when last, it's been years and years and years, that I woke up a morning and I said, do I really have to go and do this today? If you get to a place where you wake up in the morning and you are excited for whatever the day holds, and if you are excited to go out there and change people's lives, because we've got this amazing product in our hands, we've got this amazing opportunity in our hands to change people's lives. I mean, just to help a person, a single mother, to earn a couple of $1,000 more, or a couple of $100 more each and every month, makes a significant difference in their life. You won't believe all the messages that we already received over the years, of just a person saying, I don't know how I was going to pay for my son's rugby tour, or for something at their school, and you won't believe it, my check came in and I earned a couple of dollars and I were able to pay for it. So yeah, you have to live it, you have to see it, you have to smell it, you have to taste it, your dreams. So that's a big thing. That's the thing that keeps me personally going each and every day. A couple of years ago, we were fortunate to buy a farm my big dream, and I'm still working every single day on it, is to be 100% self-sustainable, self-sufficient, and to teach many other people how to do it, how to also be self-sustainable, how to grow their own vegetables, how to raise their own chickens, their own eggs, meat, to produce all their stuff that they grow. That's a big passion for me and for Let Marie as well. And it's starting to come to pass because we're getting more and more and more visitors here on the farm that wants to learn. Then, example, the other day we had a mother with a couple of the kids here, and we went into the vegetable garden, and I said to him, "There's one rule here in this vegetable garden: you can harvest as much and anything what you want, but whatever you harvest, you're going to eat. You're going to prepare it and you're going to eat it." And the mother had big eyes, and when the kids went off into the garden, I asked her, "Well, what's wrong?" She said, "My kids don't eat vegetables." I said, "Well, we're going to start now." And you won't believe how many kids start eating vegetables just because they go and they harvest it themselves. It's not bought in a store. It's not their mother that's forcing it down their throat. They go and harvest it from the plant, and then we teach them how to. So you have to find your passion. You have to find your why. That's what's going to keep you going every day and keep you going every day.
I love when we talk to you guys because I love the dream board behind you, and I'm looking at it right now, but I can see our little Elevate sign, and I go,
That's it. That's it.
because I think also it's your dream board, but there's also memories on that board at the same time, and it's the stuff that
So,
you know that you've been able to create and experience because of what you do. And I think I'm laughing at the vegetables because, having cooked with nieces and nephews and made like pizza from scratch, they love it so much more because there's that involvement in it. And what a wonderful, wonderful dream. Um, so when you think about why you do it and when you think about how you started the journey, anything you wish you knew from the beginning, if you to look back and say, I wish I'd known this from the start, what would that be?
yes, there's only one thing that comes to mind, Sinead, and that's self-development. That's
Yeah.
self-development. You won't believe what a big part, and it not only in your monetary journey, but in life.
Mm-hmm.
Self-development, I mean, books I never ever read in my life. In my matric year, I was fortunate enough to meet Let Marie in my matric year, and she read all my books for me and told me what's going on there. That's how I think I passed my matric exams. I still don't know. They didn't ask me to come back, so I'm sure I did pass. Self-development is right on top there because
Yeah.
through a book, some books you can read in one evening, some books
Mm-hmm.
takes you a couple of days or a week or two, but you get 20, 30, 40, 50, 80 years knowledge in that book. And it doesn't only help you read it, but then you have to go apply it. So if there's only one thing that I wish I did more
Mm-hmm.
earlier is to work on myself.
Yeah. And I think there's, we all have reasons and we're busy, but I think there are, like when you look back, 30 or 40 years ago, you read a book. Now you can get a Kindle. Now you can listen to an audio or you can be educated on it by listening to a podcast. So you can listen in the car, you can listen while you're walking. I'm old school. I like a book. If I'm listening to something, I can get too distracted and I have to hear the same paragraph 8 times before it sinks in my brain, nobody else's. So I think there's no reason. But even like the Eric Worreys of this world, or the Mel Robbins, or the Richard Brooks, they're all you can find them on social media and short bites. So there really is no excuse, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even and
No, no, I agree, Sinead. It's so much easier. We are currently listening to Let Me Love the audiobooks. I also like the hard copy, but
Mhm.
we're currently listening to um, a very, very Zig Ziglar.
Oh yes, okay, yeah.
He's one of his. I think we've listened to it like a couple of times, but each time you hear something different. Each time you read a book,
Mhm.
there's some books that I've read like 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Each time you get something different out that book when you read it again or when you listen to it again.
And I think that's the thing because somebody will say, "Oh, I have that book." Well, when did you last read it? And because we're introducing a pack of starter books, and I know it's very much in line with the what Leonie and your team uses starter books. and they'll be sold with a new enrollment, or you can buy it separately if you'd like to, because we want to help get that journey started. And you're not reading War and Peace here, everybody. Don't be having a heart attack. Some of these books are a nice, easy read and easy language. But I think if you're sitting on those books now, maybe pull them out and read them and help yourself and motivate yourself. Because I can tell you, Quentin, there's people on this call this morning and they probably have their own little version of a library at home sitting behind them or somewhere in the corner. And I think sometimes it is worth reading it again and again and again, because sometimes you know, it's like when you hear a speaker, you hear something the second time, or if you watch a movie and you went, I didn't notice that the first time. So there's a lot to be said for that. When you think, and you said earlier that you're, you know, sometimes it was just you and Alette Marie for the longest time, and then maybe you'd have one person coming to an event. When you think about where you were and where you guys are now, when you get a new associate in your business, so when you have somebody join to build a business with you, what's the one piece of advice you always share with them? Because I think we all struggle as, well, how do I help somebody? What do I do? So what do you do?
Oh, Sinead, that's easy. We've actually got well, three things that we're very passionate about in our business, and this is actually just for the new persons out there. And the first thing is have fun. I'm going to say all three, that I'm going to elaborate a little bit on it. The first thing is have fun. The second one is tell stories. And the third one is stick close to your upline. And I think I'm sure I mentioned this on the Elevate when we were there on that weekend. But it's so important. The first one, people don't want another job. They want something with meaning. They want to change the world out there. Deep inside of us, each and every person, every one of you listening on this call, want to change the world out there in some form or other. All of us are different. Some people want to help just their mothers. That's changing the world. Some people want to help orphanages. That's changing the world. Some people want to help the M5M movement. That's changing the world. So it doesn't matter where you want to go. You really deep down, if you really look at it, you want to change the world. And how are we going to do that? By having fun, not by having somebody behind us with a whip telling us what to do and say we must do this and we must do that and you have to do this and you have to do that. If you tell me I have to do something, guaranteed you're going to battle me to get that done. Because if I want to do something, it's a total different story. So having fun. In the communities, you must have fun. Everything evolves around fun, because if you're having fun, it's not effort for you. You will go out there and you will share this opportunity with everybody. The second thing is tell stories. How do we sell? Story sells. If you don't have a story, that's what we urge our new prospects to get their products as soon as possible, to get their own story. But if they haven't got their story, use your upline story. There are millions and millions and millions of stories out there. Stories, just tell stories, because there are people that wants to know the facts, but 99% of people can relate to a story, like my story that I told you about Jessica. That's one of our stories. That's how we started. That's a passion for ours. And I mean, you don't know what's going on in most of your prospects or most of those news people's lives. You don't, and I can guarantee you, over the years, I've realized almost 100% of people battle with something, some form of illness, some form of discomfort, some form of something that's missing in their life. It doesn't matter if it's financially or health-wise, but you've got the tool. You can help them. So firstly, have fun. Secondly, tell stories. And thirdly, remember, when you are new, you are ignorance on fire, JP always said. So you go out there and you just share and share and share and share, and you don't actually know what you're doing. But that's where your upline comes in. And I want to put a disclaimer in here, if you don't have an upline, then you become the upline. You become the upline that you want or that you want to be. Because for long, we didn't have an upline until JP appeared. The guy that enrolled us is years and years and years. He left us, and me and Alette Marie had to carry on. And that was another thing for me why I was so disappointed or so discouraged in a Manatech, because now we're on our own again, and we have to go through it and do everything. and we haven't got anybody supporting us. And they said to us in the beginning, they're going to support us until JP appeared. And I want to edify JP. He's an amazing leader. I know most of you know him, and if you don't know him, you will get to know him. And thank you, JP, for everything because he took us by the hand and he really showed us the ropes. And he showed us how to build a network, because we were just enrolling people and carrying on. And Aletmani was doing most of the work, and she was almost getting burnt out, and she didn't know what to. And the money was coming in, but not until JP showed us a structure. Until JP showed us how to build it and what to do. And then he said, well, and then Aletmani got stuck on Gold Executive Director for a year or two. And then she cried at him and said to him, but JP, we're not, why can't we go presidential? And he said, you're not reading enough. You're not building yourself. You're not doing self-development. We didn't know nothing about self-development, but that's where your upline comes in. So these three things, that's the most important, that we focus on a new associate. Have fun, tell stories, and stick close to your upline. Keep it simple.
I love it. And you're correct. We lots of us in Australasia know JP and know JP well, and we're big fans. And I've said this to Aletmani. We actually knew about you guys long before you probably knew Australia even existed as a Menatech, because JP would say, I have these incredible leaders working in my group, and he was always so proud of you. And JP was somebody I've traveled with, so we've done roadshows, and we spent a lot of time laughing. And I think, we sat at airports, and we found a commonality, an Irish comedian as it happens, and we'd be listening. We'd have one ear thing piecing in. But it was the fun. And I think I love what you say about having fun, because if you're a new person and you're stepping into a community, if you go to your first event, you're nervous, you're probably not sure what to expect. But when you go in and you feel that sense of fun and that energy, I think you want to be part of it, right? So what you're really doing is creating an environment where everybody can thrive. And that community is so important. And I know we do so much online, and I think it's wonderful, but there's nothing like being in the same room, like we experienced in Sydney. Being in that one room together and having that experience, I think, is absolutely incredible. I always ask everybody this question when we do this call, and one book recommendation. We talk about reading, and the challenge I find with this question, Quentin, is people find it very hard to pin it down to one book. I've asked Ray Robbins this question, and I think I got a list, and I've asked somebody else, and you get another list, and it's always really, really good suggestions, and we will share them in the chat later if you don't get it. So let's start with the first book, and let's see where we go from there.
Yeah, that's quite a difficult question, Sinead. I thought the book was going to come up, but there is thousands of books out there. We've also got a library, and it's here on my right-hand side. We've got a big library, but the book that was on my mind for the boot camp as well. I actually spoke about it, and I got it out here. Is this book?
Okay,
this is a phenomenal book. This changed my life.
If you didn't see that, that's a Richard Branson book called "Screw It, Let's Do It." Yes.
That's it. There in this book, it tells about a story. It tells about how he had a dream. It tells about how everybody told him it's not going to work. I think he dropped out of school. I can't remember everything exactly, but because I'm saying can't remember, because each and every person that reads the book takes something else out of the book. I'll read a book and I'll say, yo, this was great, and the other person will tell me, but he didn't really, is it the same book? Because he didn't saw that in a book. But what hit me was that he had a dream, he had a passion, and he pursued it. Doesn't matter what the odds were. Doesn't matter how many people told him he couldn't do it. He did it. And the one thing that stuck out of me when they got married, him and his wife, and I believe she unfortunately passed away recently. Yeah. But he didn't have money to take her on honeymoon, but he heard of this estate agent that if you tell him that you want to buy an island, he takes you with a helicopter and he treats you like 5-star, and he goes and shows you the islands, to buy the island. And they went to numerous islands. Now, this is their honeymoon, but the estate agent didn't know that, because there will be champagne and treats, and they'll get booked into the best hotels and so forth. And they got to this island. There was nothing on this. All the islands that they visit, Richard just said, no, it's not what I want. It's not what I want. And then this estate agent said, well, there's one island left, and this island is called Necker Island. And they went there, but there's nothing there. It's a bare island. And they went on this island, and Richard immediately fell in love with it. And I can't remember what the price was, but let's say it was $1 million. Richard said, no, man, I'm not going to pay $1 million for this island. I'll give you $100,000 for it. Immediately, this estate agent got notice, well, this guy hasn't got money. He's taking me for a ride. So he got them back in the helicopter, and when they got to the hotel, their bags were packed for them, and they were headed back to wherever they came back. Little below, lo and behold, I think 3, 4, 5 years later, this estate agent contacted him again and said to him, listen, are you still interested in that island? He said, yes, I'm still interested in the island. And he bought it for less than he made the offer. So there's something that I learned, that it doesn't matter how big your dream is. It doesn't matter how ridiculous it is. Always remember, anything is possible if you put your mind to it. And there's so many nuggets that I took out of that book. How he had to sell Virgin Records, on the stock exchange, and how he didn't like, not being in charge of his own company, and how he bought all the stocks back, each and every one of them. How he wanted to start the airline, Virgin Airline, and again, he had so many adversities, but he overcome each and every one of them. So in life, we have adversities. It's only up to you how you're going to overcome it. So. Yeah, this is it's an easy read. That's why I love it, because it's an easy read. And it's interesting. It's really interesting. So yeah, I'll go with that book for now, Sinead.
And he bought the island, because famously that's the island he owns now is Necker Island. And I'm going home to tell my husband, okay, let's pretend we want to buy an island, because that sounds incredible. To be fair, though, I think it's because it kind of sounds like a crazy thing to do, but if you don't ask, you don't get, right? And if you don't try, you'll never know. And isn't the old adage, is a successful person is just an unsuccessful person that didn't give up, because you.
Yeah, sorry, Sinead, if you ask big, because you're going to receive anyway. Just ask big. Go for it and go big. You're going to receive anyway.
Yes. If you're watching that's not means ask Sinead and Drew and we'll say yes to everything. But I'm always, you know what, always ask, just as long as you're not offended by a no, because sometimes you're going to get a no. You always ask. I'm just gonna, and I didn't throw this question in there, but I've just thought about it because you're saying ask anyway. Are you afraid of a no? Or were you ever afraid of a no?
Sinead, yes. It's very daunting in the beginning, because you know what you've got, but the other person doesn't know the opportunity that you've got, and because there's so many scams out there, and because there's so many pyramid schemes that did not work, and that so many people lost money. They put their whole pension in it, or they put their whole life savings in it, and they lost. Most people are skeptical, but you know what? There are millions of people out there looking for opportunity, and it's getting easier and easier and easier. So yes, in the beginning, it was daunting to talk to people, because you are afraid of the no. But once we got the what can happen? They can't kill you. They can't arrest you. They can't do anything. They can only say no. Alette Marie had a thing, and that always, when somebody says no, we just have the saying for ourselves: we're going to put 10 in your place. That we just say to ourselves. You don't say it to that person. You just say it to yourself. You're going to put 10 in your place. Because you know what's a best revenge results, or you know what you achieve is a best revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are watching. People are watching on Facebook. People are watching on social media. Let me call
Absolutely.
them, you know, roofkijkers. What's that in English? They're like vultures. They're
Uh-huh.
just sitting there and they're watching you.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, just keep on going. Just keep on doing what you're doing.
Mhm.
Results is the best revenge.
I love it. And I'm going to ask this question because I know the way minds think sometimes, and I think sometimes we stick in our comfort zone. So, and it would have been easy for you guys to stick in your comfort zone. The results that you saw first were with Jessica were all about the product. And you know, when you start off, you know, you have fun, tell stories, and stay close to your upline. There are people out there, and I know they're watching this morning, and yes, I'm talking to you if you're wondering, you love the product, you're comfortable in the product, but you're afraid of the business talk. How do you, and that's the last thing we're going to talk about because I know we're going to go over, but if you think about that, because you came in skeptical, you could obviously see the results that Jessica was having and that lifted you up, but you were still on it's network marketing. There's something I don't trust here. How does that shift from product to business go? Because to my mind, it's a bit like ask anyway. If you don't tell them there's an opportunity, they're never going to say yes. Do you know what I mean? To the opportunity, because you give them the information, they make an informed decision. How do you navigate from I'm really comfortable over here because I know about the products and I've seen 27 Dr. Nugent videos and that's going to back me up. How do you take them come out of the comfort zone and over there?
Sinead, yeah, that's actually, and I can only speak out of our personal
Mhm.
experience. That's how we went from the products to the business side, because the person that shared the products with Alet Marie said something very significant, and she remembered it. He said to her, "If you want to get the products cheaper or for free, contact me, and I'll show you how you can do it." So what we currently are doing, we want, if we see a new prospect, and normally it's we're sharing the products with them because we're sharing stories, or they saw something on Facebook that happened and they ask us for more information. We always put in there, remember, if you want part of your products for free, get back to us and we can show you how to do it. That's when we come in, when they get back to us, and that's where we show them the business plan. That's where we show them how they can earn money. But also a big part of this is your dream. We try to get the why, and that's another book that I just want to throw in there. Is Start with Why. That book is phenomenal. That was our whole theme on our boot camp that happened a week ago here in South Africa. Is start with why. Your why. That is the fundamental. That's a foundation of your business. In maybe the why was to get products or to get a better, you know, to help your health, but then your why is going to shift. How can I
Mhm.
help other people get this? And if you share the product, you might as well get paid. You might as well make a earning of it, make a living of it. There's nothing wrong with it. You're not doing in anybody. You're not stealing anybody's money, or doing any discomfort to anybody. You are just sharing, and that's what we people do. We, all of our, you know, human beings are network marketing, because if you see a good movie, you're going to talk about it, you're going to share it. If you read a good book or you eat at a good restaurant, you're going to share, but you
Mhm.
don't get a free meal at that restaurant. So don't, I think it's only a mindset. It's only a blockage somewhere that you you can't sell, because that's nonsense. Each and
Yeah.
every person out there is a good salesman. They just don't know it yet, because they're going to talk anyway. They're going to share anyway about the wonderful results they had on the products. Doesn't matter if it's Ambertos or the Luminovation or any other product. They're going to share, and you might as well show them the business plan and get earnings from it as well, to help somebody else, to make your dreams come true, to make a difference in the world out there. So I think the biggest part of moving from the products to the business side is in your own head. I think it's just a blockage that most people think they can't sell. Most people think they have to do it. They have to make a target. Most people think they have to buy thousands of dollars worth of products and keep it in their garage and sell it and battle and deliver it and all that. Everything is sorted out for us. The company does everything. Your customer pays the company direct, and it gets delivered directly at their doorstep or at their office or wherever they want to deliver it. So I think the biggest change from products to the business is a mind shift and just a realization that you are going to share anyway. You might as well get paid for it.
I love that because, there's an old story here that I've heard. Somebody that was at the old national director level, but executive director level, and said to her upline, I just want to help people. And he said, who's helping more people, you as a national director or me as a bronze presidential? And in that word, it kind of went, because the more you grow, the more impact that you're having on people, and obviously you're spreading it an awful lot more. I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay, closing thoughts. You've been here, all right? You've been to Australia, you've met lots of us in person at our Elevate event. You met more during Manifest. If you had a crystal ball, and you were saying you were talking to the Australians, I'm always tempted to say go forth and multiply. But what are your thoughts, knowing who we are, knowing what we've got in our hands? What's the piece of advice you give everybody to close out?
Well, that's also actually a difficult question, Sinead, because it differs for everybody and for everything. But as you know, and as you can realize, the dream board, the why, that's a big passion for me, and I can guarantee you, if you can find any person's why or any person's passion, it doesn't matter if it's fishing or having boats or having fancy cars or eating in a different restaurant each night, or helping people like we spoke about how many times on this call already. But if you can find people's passion, if you can find why they're living, if you can find out why they're getting up each day, why they're going to the office each and every day to make ends meet, what do they battle with? Where do they want to improve themselves? If you can improve yourself 1%, and I think this is what I want to leave you with. If you can improve yourself 1% each and every day, doesn't matter which aspect of your life, if it's self-development, if it's eating habits, if it's exercising, if it's your skill with people, if it's your temper, if it's your painting your house, it doesn't matter what it is. If you can improve 1% each and every day, at the end of this year, you're going to improve more than 300% by just doing 1%, trying your best. Sometimes you won't succeed because we don't always succeed. Most of the times we do fail, but it doesn't matter how many times you fail. It depends on how many times you get up and you carry on. You pick yourself up. If you haven't got an upline, be the upline that you want to be. If you haven't got a team, be the team that you will be. Imagine it. Write it down. See it. Stick it on your walls. Your team will come. That 10, 15 presidentials, platinums, doesn't matter how many you want in your team. Visualize it. Speak it. Dream it. Smell it. If you want that new car, go to the dealership. Get into that car. Go drive it. Take 2, 3, 4, 5 brochures of it. Stick it on your wall. See it. I can guarantee you, if you believe in yourself and you stick to the system, it will come to pass. So, yeah, I think just get better 1% each and every day. Doesn't matter where, you will be 300% better at the end of the year.
Do you know what? That is a perfect way to close out this call. I couldn't have asked for any more, because I think, to my mind, sometimes we think it's the old, how do you eat an elephant? Well, it's one bite at a time. And that's what you're doing. You're taking this one bite at a time. And sometimes we think it's overwhelming, but if you break it down, your big goal is always a series of little goals. right? And it's always those steps you get there. So, Quentin, huge thank you for sharing. Um, anybody that hasn't met him, you can see why we love him. You've got this wonderful energy, you've got this fabulous smile on your face, and I know we could listen to you all day long. And your wife too, in case I let Marie's listening. But we've been very blessed to have your friendship and to have your guidance and to have your sharing, and you know how we all feel about you having had the in-hand experience or the face-to-face experience. So thank you so much for joining us. Everybody else, if you're sitting here and you're thinking what next, and you've heard a lot of what Quentin has said, be inspired by it. I always say the best honor you can show a speaker is by taking action because of something he's shared. So if you're sitting there and thinking, what next? We have a first look online on the 3rd of March, which is the next one that's coming up. Go invite somebody to it. Go invite 5 people to it, or go invite 10. And if you don't know how to show the plan, they're going to do it there. And if you don't have a story to tell them, you're going to hear a story there. But what you're doing is you're bringing these people into a community, and you're getting them to see what's possible and what that opportunity is. So right now, and if you want to do 1% at a time between now and the 3rd, maybe your goal is to invite one person to this call every day. Make sure you follow up. The fortunes in the follow up, but follow up. And because you could have, I can't do 21st to the 3rd, 28, 7, you've got 10 days. If you ask somebody to this call, one person every day, you could have 10 people. You could invite 2 people to this call every day. You could have 20 people, but you don't know if you don't ask. So Quentin, from our hearts to yours, a huge thank you for this morning's call. We are so appreciative. Everybody else, you know where the next call is. We're excited about what's happening right now. So keep on going, and we will see you on the next Lead, Laugh, Love podcast. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, Sinead. Goodbye.